Okay, section 1.6e, anatomical terms, specifically quadrants/labs. You'll understand what that means in just a few minutes. So here we have the patient. We know it's an anterior view of the patient because here is the sternum, otherwise known as the breastbone. So we are in anatomical position facing us. This means that this is the patient's right and this is the patient's left side. So if we go to the umbilical region or the belly button or right smack in the middle, and we draw a crosshairs, and split up the abdominopelvic cavity into quadrants, we end up with a right upper quadrant, RUQ, a right lower quadrant, RLQ, a left lower quadrant, LLQ, and the left upper quadrant, LUQ. Again, here's the diaphragm, and on maximum exhalation, the diaphragm is a domed shaped muscle, the primary respiratory muscle, and in maximum exhalation, it actually is up pretty high up into the thoracic cavity, and when it does so, it draws up some of your abdominopelvic organs superiorly. So this is why it appears as though there are some abdominal organs up in the thoracic cavity when they actually are. Technically not, but temporarily they are because the diaphragm has relaxed so much to expel air. All right, so if we take a look at the quadrants, there's a very easy method to remembering what major organ is in each quadrant. So in the right upper quadrant, we have the liver. So we're going to place an L there, L for liver. In the right lower quadrant, we have the appendix, and we are going to place an A there for appendix. In the left lower quadrant, we have mostly bowels, so basically intestines. Well, those intestines are on all four of your quadrants. So if I have a patient that has a stab wound to the abdomen or the pelvis, either one, the abdominopelvic cavity, there's a very high possibility that intestines are involved. So we have bowel times 4, meaning we have bowel in all four quadrants. And lastly, in the left upper quadrant, we have a couple organs, the most important which, as far as trauma is concerned, is the spleen. That's why we have an S in the left upper quadrant. So we have LABS. Now it's important to note that the liver is not exclusively in the right upper quadrant. It does extend medially and slightly to the left lateral region. So this is the tip of the liver here extending into the left upper quadrant. But the primary location of the liver is in the right upper quadrant. So if we start in the right upper quadrant and we go right upper to right lower to left lower to left upper, so this would be in a counterclockwise position on our patient in an anatomical position. That spells out LABS. So again, we have to start off in a right upper quadrant to right lower quadrant to left lower quadrant to left upper quadrant. That spells out LABS. Labs, liver, appendix, bowel times 4, and spleen. Very easy way to remember what's in what quadrant.